Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sauna IE. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the show. Welcome to Sauna IE. Sauna IE is a platform for mental health. And with this episode today, in honor of Men's Health Month, we're going to be doing and discussing men's mental health throughout the month of June. In this first episode, I want to lay with y'all some facts and statistics about mental health. Like, nearly 1 in 10 men experience depression and anxiety, and we're gonna get deeper into the men's mental health of this on this episode, as well as some things that I've been through when it came to mental health. But first, let's kick off the show with some quotes of the day. My first quote is, "A day of worry is more exhausting than a week of work." What are you worried about right now? What's got you so worried, or that you're like, I can't focus, that you're so exhausted because you're constantly worrying? Worrying on a daily basis leads to nothing. The more worry you have, the more energy you're draining, the more fear you develop within your mind, within yourself. Instead of just having faith, everything's going to work out for you. Whatever you're worried about is going to work out for you. Just have the faith. We have to walk in faith and not walk in fear or walk in worry. Things will happen for you. Life happens for you. So whatever you're worried about right now, just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go and just give it out to the universe, give it out to God, and you'll be free. You'll feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders, because it's life. Life teaches us or wants us to be worried about this, about that, about bills, about vacations, about jobs and everything, but just let it go and just flow with life instead of being so worried about what's going to happen next, what am I going to do next, or is this right for me, and things like that. Just let it flow into life and let things flow to you. Don't worry, everything will happen for you. Life happens for you, not to you. And my next quote is, "Believe in new possibilities." I guess these two go hand in hand. Believe in new possibilities. Every day is a possibility. Not a probability, but a possibility. You have to see that everything is a possibility or an opportunity for you to succeed, for you to grow, for you to elevate. And believe. That's the biggest thing. It's like you have to believe in anything and everything when it comes to your life, when it comes to your journey, when it comes to you, believing that you can do all things that's meant for you, and not really, going back to the first quote, worrying about, what's going to happen? Is this going to happen? It's just like, have that belief in your system. Like, I know it's going to happen. It's just it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. So believe in new possibilities for your life. Wherever you're at right now, if you're having you're going through the worst phase of your life right now, you're going through tough trials and tribulations, you feeling like you're getting rejection after rejection after rejection, believe in new possibilities. Change your mindset, change your belief that great things are supposed to happen to me. What's happening right now is only for me to learn and grow. It's not for me to hold myself back or step back or be stagnant or being in a worry mind state. Believe in new possibilities. And with that being said, let's get into the nitty gritty. And I've been doing some research about mental health, men's mental health, especially because I feel like it's rarely discussed. As a man, we're taught to keep it in. We're taught to be strong. We're taught to be the bronze. We're taught to not express how we feel or what we feel or how we think or what we're going through. It's just a phase that you're going through. You'll get over it and things like that. But that's not necessarily the answer or solution to the problem at hand, the issue at hand. With that being said, I'm gonna give y'all a brief break, and then we're gonna jump into men's mental health, some statistics and facts. Thank y'all for tuning in to Sauna IE. Six months in, it's June, and I bet you've been feeling like, I'm still feeling drained. Like, how do I get like a mental recharge? How can I take a break? What can I do to gain my mental sanity? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's an app that I use, app called Calm. The Calm app helps you when it comes to expressing gratitude and keeps you on track to express gratitude on a daily basis for everything that you're blessed with in your life, even the little things. As well as Calm is really known for meditating. Meditation, getting that time in the morning, I like to wake up and meditate and just have that peace, have that clarity of visualizing and setting my intentions for what I want to happen today. And Calm does that. And if you like you've been against meditating or you haven't meditated, just try it. Try it for one day, try it for 5 minutes and sit with yourself. That's what it's really about, sitting with yourself, sitting with your thoughts and really taking control over your mind. So if you always been wondering, how do I meditate? How can I meditate? Or what is meditation? Go to your app store, download the Calm app, and let me know what you think. Let's get back to the show. Men's mental health. Ladies, I know y'all listening to this right now, like, oh, this ain't for me. Yeah, it is for you. If you have a man in your life, either your father, your cousin, your grandpa, brother, any family member, a friend, take the time to check on them. Take the time to check on them and really check on them. Not just say, oh, how are you? And they say, oh, fine. Or they say good and you just brush it off. Sit down and have conversations with people about their mental health and see how they're doing mentally, because we take a lot in on a daily basis. We take a lot in, and we're just having this conversation in the gym today, and some of us don't have that outlet or that escape to where we can vent. We can talk to people about what we're feeling, how we're feeling without being judged. Everybody's so afraid of being judged, afraid of being vulnerable, that they think the best thing too is keep it bottled in. But bottling in the stuff on a daily basis just builds up, and then you reach that breaking point or that boiling point. So if you haven't been feeling yourself lately, or you've been really neglecting your mental health and just trying to stay busy, trying to stay productive and not really checking in on yourself, take some time to check on yourself. Check on your mental health. See how you're doing. See how this month's been. See how this week's been. See how this day's been. And just really take the time to check on yourself and see how you're doing. As well as the people that you love around you, your friends and your family. Check on them, see how they're doing mentally. Have the conversations. Let them know you can be vulnerable with me. You can open up to me. You don't have to feel like you want to sugarcoat it. Just be real and open up, rip off the Band-Aid and be real. Let people know how you feel. If you've been having suicidal thoughts, you've been depressed, if anything of that nature, let the people around you know. Don't keep that in. Because you keeping that in only hurts them, because once you get to that point, they'll look back like, damn, I didn't know. And that's because you didn't open up and tell them. It's okay to be vulnerable. Vulnerability shows strength. So let yourself be vulnerable. And we're going to get into men's mental health stats. The first one that I found is nearly 1 in 10 men experience depression and anxiety. According to a poll of 21,000 American men by researchers at the National Center of Health Statistics, nearly 1 in 10 men reported experiencing some form of depression or anxiety, but less than half sought treatment. Oh, man. As men, we have to start talking about our mental health, what we feel, how we feel, as well as seeking help, especially if you're in a depressive state or feeling anxious. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I understand. As a man, we're taught to be emotionless. Don't be vulnerable, be strong. But being vulnerable actually shows strength. Letting people know how you feel, what you feel, creates a new version of yourself. You start to understand yourself more because you're opening up, and you never know what that person you're opening up to, they may have experienced the same thing, but they got through it, they got over that hurdle, and they can help you out. Or they can connect you with somebody that can help you. But it's all about opening up about what you feel and how you feel, and not feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be judged if I say this. Just say it. If the person loves you, if the person you're opening up to loves you and cares about you, they won't judge you. They'll accept you for who you are. We're not all perfect. We all have flaws. We can't keep bottling up things. And even if you feel like you don't want to open up, I'm always here for you. I'm here for you, and I know someone who loves you that you can open up to. But we just have to be willing to open up. And the first step with that is just asking for help. If you need help, suffering in silence isn't the solution. And number 2, men experience a higher rate of suicide than women. Depression, when left untreated, can in some cases reach a crisis point of suicidal contemplation. With so few men reaching out for help or support, and instead of suffering in silence, this may be the one reason why men face a higher suicide rate. We don't like to ask for help. We feel like we can conquer and accomplish everything on our own. But everybody needs help. Whether it comes to your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your financial health, you always need help. You won't be able to do it on your own. When it comes to anything in life and anything on your journey, somebody will help you, and then you'll turn around and help somebody else. So it's all about asking for help, asking for support, and letting people know what you feel and how you feel, instead of like, no, I can't tell them that. Oh, I can't say this. Oh, I can't say that. Just like, no, just open up. Be an open book and just be like, yo, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling. And a story I'm about to get to y'all. One of the men in my life was suffering in silence. And I didn't know until one day he just texted me out of the blue contemplating suicide. And he expressed that he's been suffering in silence since childhood. It's crazy because everything starts from the childhood. Anything that the way you are today all starts back to how your childhood was. Childhood trauma spreads to adulthood with stuff that's untreated. And long story short, with him, I really stayed close to him, talked to him, knowing that he's loved, kept contacting him, and just really reaching out and let him know, like, yo, you are not alone. You don't have to feel this way. You can always open up to me. This is a safe space about anything that you're feeling, instead of just keeping it bottled in. Because bottling in, especially since childhood, that's over like two decades ago. And it doesn't solve anything. It hurts you inside. It tears you down. As men, that's our go-to though. We like to suffer in silence. We like to keep it to ourselves because we're not taught how to deal with our emotions. We're not taught about mental health growing up. We're taught like, everything views tripping out or however it was like, oh, you're bipolar. It's like not necessarily bipolar. It's just some people are going through a depressive state, and depression doesn't always have to be sadness. It can be anger. It can be anxiety. It can be you trying to boil out, lashing out, projecting how you feel onto other people. But having those conversations and being like, I want to be vulnerable with you right now, and starting the conversation off with that, and then that'll have the person really tune in and listen into what you're saying. But as men, like, once again, we're taught to be the bronze, but now never how to use our brain. Never taught how to feel or what to feel our emotions. So if you've been suffering in silence, please ask for help. I love you, and I'm here for you. And there's a lot of hotlines and therapists that you can reach out to. Matter of fact, in the show notes, I'm gonna include some hotlines that you can reach out to and call to for anything that you're feeling. And I'm gonna, at the end of the show, I'm gonna name out the hotlines that I have in the list. Another statistic is about out of 6 of every 10 men experience at least one trauma in their lives. Men are more likely to experience trauma related to accidents, physical assault, combat, disaster, or even witness a death or injury, which can cause PTSD. If you don't know what PTSD is, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. And PTSD can develop weeks, months, and sometimes even years after an experienced trauma, and can cause a person to relive that traumatic event and they want to avoid places and situations that serve as a reminder, aka triggers. So 6 out of every 10 men experience one type of trauma in their life. So I'm pretty sure we all know at least 10 men in our lives. And out of those 10 men that you know, about 6 of them have experienced at least one trauma. And that's the thing we had to talk about too, especially when it comes to traumatic events. We have to open up. I have to say, yo, I witnessed this, or I dealt with this, or this happened in my childhood, or this happened 2 weeks ago, but I've been keeping it to myself. No. It's about opening up, talking and communicating with somebody so you can have that person, that safe space to talk to and vent to about that traumatic event that you experienced, so you can feel that weight lifted off your shoulders. Because we can't just keep it in. Once again, you keep it in, it just has a trickling effect that is not good for you. Another statistic is men are almost 2 times more likely to binge drink than women. Not only do men binge drink more often than women, men consistently have a higher rate of alcohol-related deaths and hospitalizations. Men are also more likely to use alcohol before dying by suicide. We all know alcohol is an escape, and men drown their pain in alcohol. You've seen it in movies, you've seen it in TV shows, you've probably seen it up close. And when you're under the influence, you're just numb to everything. It makes it easier to commit suicide. If someone close to you hasn't been themselves, have been isolated, have been drinking more than usual, please take the time to check on them. Have that conversation with them to see how they're doing mentally. Really sit them down like, yo, I've been seeing you've been off your game lately, or you've been not yourself. You've been doing more drinking and more partying and not really been on your game. What's going on? How are you doing mentally? Did you witness a traumatic event recently? Have you been in a depressive state? What's going on? I just want you to know you can talk to me. Provide that safe space for people. Because we all need that. We all need that person we can vent to, we can talk to, that we can be vulnerable with and not be judged. And I think that's the biggest thing. We don't want to be judged by people, by society for things that we're feeling, but show that strength. Open up. It's not about us. It's about the people around us. How they feel, what they're going through. How can we help them out? So check on the men in your life, because we all go through things that we bottle up and feel like we can't express how we feel. And growing up as a child, I'm grateful that I had a blessed childhood, that I didn't really witness no traumatic event or been through a traumatic event like that. But my friends, there was friends around me growing up that dealt with different things, that lost family members, that lost parents, that lost grandparents, that lost loved ones, that dealt with traumatic events, that grew up in abusive households. And at the time, as a child growing up, I didn't know what to do, but I witnessed it. I've seen how it trickled onto the child, the friend, and seen what they did. Some weren't in tune with school, and they were more focused on just being probably a class clown or disruptive to the class, because that was a way of seeking attention, or that was a way of them crying out for help. So if you had a traumatic childhood, talk about it with somebody. Don't keep it bottled in. If you've been always reflecting back, you've been just not feeling yourself, talk to somebody. Open up to somebody. Vent. Have that safe space. Start journaling if you have to. Maybe you're like, I don't know how to communicate what I feel or how I feel. Write it down and then give it to somebody. Write a letter, write an email, write it out and then send it to somebody. Like, yo, start off with like, this is me being vulnerable. I don't know how to express it, but I know how to write it out. and here. Maybe it won't be complete sentences, but if you just start writing out how you feel, you get that off your chest. You get that off your mind. So take the time to check on yourself and check on the people around you. But I'm going to give y'all a brief break and then we're going to hop into this next segment. Thank y'all for tuning in to Sana A. And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. Segment number 2. I guess this is just some tips, some pointers. Basically, the first step to addressing these issues would be to enhance education about mental health. Researchers emphasize the importance of disrupting how men traditionally think about depression and suicide by breaking down the stigma that surrounds these topics. They also explain that it is important to help men change the idea of receiving support from a mark of weakness to a necessary step in maintaining one aspect of their health that is important as any other. A mark of weakness. As men, we see like receiving help or asking for help is a sign of weakness or showing us that we're weak. But in sports, there's teams. There's teams from the players that you see on the players that you see on the team to the personal trainers, the people that help them with physical training. You have forget the word, the injury people. I forgot. Dang, like medics and all that stuff. But everybody has a team. Don't feel like, oh, me showing up or me asking for this is a sign of weakness, or that, oh man, men don't have depression or men don't do suicide. And men are 3 to 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide than women. It's really a statistic, and we have to change that. We have to change that narrative. We have to change the way we think about depression and suicide. And really, if we're feeling some type of way, we're feeling anxious, we're feeling depressed, we're feeling like we're having PTSD or going through PTSD, we have to reach out and talk to people and really ask for that support, because it's not a sign of weakness. It's not a mark of weakness. You're not weak. You're showing your true strength, that you want to know what's going on with you and ways to solve the issue that's going on. Some mental health problems come from genes or even childhood trauma. We really have to dig deep and see if our family has a history of mental health disorders. Ask your family, see, was there any mental health disorders within your family, and check. Because it's always good to know, so you know how to get that treatment or get that help that you need. Sometimes we don't want to know what's going on with ourselves. We're embarrassed to ask for help because we'll feel like we should know what's going on with us. We have to change that way of thinking because we don't know. And it's good to ask and seek help to understand. That's the biggest thing, understanding what you're going through. Not keeping that bottled in, not keeping it caged up, not feeling like, oh, I'm strong. I don't have to ask for help. I don't need help. I can figure this out on my own. But that's tearing you down mentally because you're not seeking help. You're being so against asking for help or asking for support or opening up or feeling like you're being judged. It's about you. It's about really asking and seeking help for what you're going through mentally. And I honestly believe that mental health should be taught in elementary school, middle school, and high school because everything starts with the brain. And kids should be educated on how they feel, what they feel, and ways to cope and trigger with their triggers. The list goes on. Every school should have mental health experts to talk with students on a weekly basis. Not just counselors, but mental health experts. Because kids go through a lot of things too that they have to bottle up, that they keep to themselves. They see a lot. They witness a lot. And like I said, every week, I feel like they should see a mental health expert, a therapist, a psychotherapist, anything in the mental health field where they can voice how they feel or say how they feel. Because sometimes they won't tell their parents how they feel, or maybe they can't go to their parents and express how they feel. So if you have kids, check on them as well. I know this is about the men in our lives, but check on your kids too. See how they're doing, see what they're feeling, ask them how they're doing mentally, ask them how their week's been, and really just sit there and talk to them. Have conversations with them and have them open up to you and let them know, like, you can be vulnerable. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to criticize you. I'm not going to demean you. I'm going to be here for you. I'm here for you. I love you and I want to know what you're going through. So if you're going through anything, you can always feel safe to open up and talk to me instead of keeping that bottled in or feeling like you can't, that you bottle it in and you just end up projecting what you feel onto other people. So check on the people in your lives, check on the kids, check on the men in your lives, check on the women in your lives, check on everybody in your life and see how they're feeling and what they're feeling and what they're going through. Have them weekly discussions. Every week we have our mental health meeting. Meet about your mental health, see what y'all been feeling. If you feel like it's easier, like I said, to write it down, start journaling. Monday through Friday, have them journals done. Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday, and Sunday have your mental health meeting with the person in your life so you can let them know what you're feeling. And we all need that. We all need that place, that where we can open up and talk to people about how we feel. But with that being said, we've come to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're thinking, oh man, that's it? We want more. I got y'all. I'm working on a show for Friday as we speak, but my peoples came into town, so I'm trying to squeeze a show in Friday. If it's not Friday, it'll be Monday. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Take care of yourself mentally. We all have flaws. We all have to be vulnerable in certain situations. We can't keep stuff bottled in. We can't keep stuff to ourselves. We can't feel like we know it all. We can't feel like asking for support, asking for help is weakness. You know what's true weakness? Not asking for help, not asking for support, keeping it to yourself, feeling like you can do it all on your own, because you can't. So don't be afraid to ask for help. With that being said, I have these hotlines for y'all that you guys can call. I'm trying to look for my quote of the day now because I don't have one ready, which is ridiculous. But there's some hotlines you can call. Listed in the show notes, I have the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline in there. I have the Crisis Text Line in there. I have the National Domestic Violence Hotline, the National Sexual Assault Hotline, as well as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, the Veterans Crisis Line, and those are all will be in the show notes. If you need any help, you feel like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody, talk to that random person, use one of these hotlines and just call and express and say how you feel. Because we need you, we love you, and we're all here for you if you're dealing with anything. But with that being said, let me leave y'all with this. Great leaders always have open ears. Hope y'all have a good week. Like I said, I'm going to try to get back with y'all on Friday. If not, it'll be Monday. And we out.